17 persons have died after gunmen invaded Unguwar Wakili community in Zango, Kataf local government area of Kaduna State on Saturday night. Women and little children are said to be among the dead. Now, a 24-hour curfew has been imposed on Unguwar Juju, Mabuhu, Unguwar Wakili, and Zango Urban to allow security operatives to restore peace in the area. Security operatives have been deployed to the areas in a bid to restore peace. Spokesperson of the police command in Kaduna State, Mohammed Jalige, in a statement said the timely intervention of a security team prevented the gunmen from causing more harm. Some security experts say this latest attack is not unconnected with farmer-herder conflicts which have existed in the region for more than a decade.
It's a Black Sunday for residents of that community. Of course, they were attacked yesterday night by gunmen who invaded their place, shooting sporadically. And 15 people were killed, were reportedly shot, and then corpses were also recovered from the bushes. Some of them were taken to the hospital where a couple of them later died. Of course, we reached out to the police. They said they're on top of the situation and that their men are deployed to the place to ensure that they forestall any further attacks. Well, the crisis in Zango, Kataf is very unique. It is basically a misunderstanding between farmers and herders. This crisis has lasted more than 10 years in that place, so it's more than a decade-long crisis. Several efforts have been put in by the Kaduna State government, by the Peace Commission. They have gone there, interacted with stakeholders, but these efforts are yet to yield results. So the curfew is still in place. It's going to be for 24 hours till we get to hear any further information from either the security authorities or the Kaduna State government.
All right, still on security matters, police in the Federal Capital Territory have reacted to the recent kidnap in Kubwa, a suburb of Abuja. Spokesman for the FCT Command, Superintendent Josephine Ade, in a statement says, upon receipt of the distress call on Friday, the 10th of March, police operatives were immediately deployed to the scene. She added that the suspects, numbering about 20, abruptly suspended their operations and abducted 10 victims who they took into the bush. She also says police officers and the state security team are still searching through bushes in the area to ensure that victims are rescued unhurt. Now, days after the Supreme Court judgment on the Naira redesign policy of the federal government, Nigerians are still battling with cash crunch. Old Naira notes still not accepted. To this end, the Arewa Consultative Forum is asking President Muhammadu Buhari to obey the Supreme Court ruling ordering the recirculation of the old Naira notes till December the 31st, 2023. The Northern Socio-Political Group is also asking the president to address the issues as the situation may cause damage to his credentials as a Democrat and a stickler for the rule of law. In a statement issued by its Secretary General Murtala Aliyu on Sunday, the ACF lamented that the Naira redesign policy has led to runaway inflation in food and other commodities, warning that the situation may lead to a breakdown of law and order in the country. Motorcycle riders have been advised against involvement in thuggery during and after the election. National President of the Motorcycle Union gave this advice at a press conference in Abuja while warning its members to avoid being recruited as political thugs. Correspondent Habida Lawal has details.
The nexus between Nigerian youths and political violence has formed many a topic for discussion in many fora within and outside Nigeria. Bad leaders play vital roles in fueling political thuggery, especially before, during and after elections, and transporters normally form their clientele. Motorcycle riders have in the past been the most easily penetrated when it comes to recruiting political thugs to cause mayhem. This association is warning its members whom it suspects have been contracted again by politicians to disrupt peace.
As a president, I am now instructing all my members that they should not engage themselves in anything that will bring violence to this our country. No political party that is allowed to come and use our members or carrying them along to move everywhere, saying that they will go for protest. They will. Okada and Keke are not available for them.
I can tell you specifically that 2 days ago, some of these elements approached this group with mouth-watering offers amidst other overtures in a plan to truncate democracy. We want to bring the bad news to these elements that this group is unavailable for such a hashed job.
In the same context, another APC support group has commended Nigerians for maintaining peace and order in the course of the election that many had proposed would degenerate into violence. The demonstration of peace after the election, they say, is a testament that Nigerians will not be coerced into chaos.
We have adjudged the election to be very free, fair, and transparent, although not devoid of some certain itches, which was immediately corrected by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. You will agree with me that there were some polling units where elections were not able to hold on Saturday, 25th. It was scheduled for Sunday, 27th, and the election was held. So in an election where the winner of the presidential election, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, lost his own state, Lagos.
They advised that electoral body to stay independent from government control and ensure elections conducted are free, fair, and credible in order to give hope to eligible persons irrespective of tribe or religion. Habida Lawal, TVC News, Abuja.
The president-elect, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been urged to work tirelessly towards addressing the country's challenges as soon as he gets into office. The financial secretary of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, FCT branch, Yomi Fatimei, who is making the appeal, also wants the president-elect to implement the positive changes he made in Lagos in terms of revenue generation and development. Lara Folayo has details.
The recently conducted presidential elections in the country saw Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerging president-elect ahead of his inauguration in May. This executive member of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria's Abuja chapter says his track record achievements as governor of Lagos State shows he is the right man for the job. He, however, seeks that the president-elect works towards ensuring that key legislative positions are occupied by Christians for the purpose of inclusiveness.
By conceding the Senate presidency and the speaker to the church. I mean, when I mean the church here, the Christian community, so that they will have a sense of belonging in his government. The election has been fought, the election has been won. So it must be magnanimous enough to ensure that the entire community, both the church, the Muslim and the pagan, see him as the president of the nation.
The clergy as well advises that critical sectors of the economy, including insecurity, be prioritized to effect the kind of change needed in the country at this time. He as well seeks that young people, which make up the bulk of the country's population, be actively engaged in the governance as well as national growth and development process.
It should rejuvenate a team, a think tank that will see Nigeria as a project that we must rebuild the nation. That's number one. Number two, he must confront insecurity. Let him look at the direction of the youth, look at the direction of our education system, and make sure that our 4-year course in the university is 4 years.
Church leaders on their part are advised to avoid partisan politics and refrain from acting in ways that portray them as being anti-government.
The church leaderships will also call to order some of our pastors that permit the word, that have turned themselves to attack dog. The Christ was not on the pulpit in the last election. all the people that contested the election in the last election were all Nigerian. So the leadership of the church should talk to some of these pastors that are very aggressive and attacking anyhow, so that we will not give the impression that the church is against the government.
Ahead of the forthcoming gubernatorial polls, the clergy seeks that security agencies be on top of their game to prevent violence and allow for peaceful, free and fair polls. Lara Folayo, TVC News, Abuja.
Still talking politics, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, is appealing to residents of Edo State to replicate the victory recorded in the state during the presidential election by voting for the candidate of the party in the forthcoming House of Assembly election. Mr. Obi made the appeal in Benin City, the Edo State capital, during his meeting with Labour Party faithful and supporters. He also used the occasion to call on Nigerians to vote en masse for all Labour Party candidates.
There have been speculation telling our candidates. We want to say clearly that our candidates are not straight down. We also want to make it categorically clear that no party, Labour Party, sponsor any other candidate to the party. Yes, who can be sure? We have said in the other election. So we can start this government of a new Nigeria. That is going to do differently. So rest assured, we will make sure that Labour Party, people that are elected into office, will do things differently.
And away from politics, the Lagos State government has promised to rebuild the Akere spare parts market in Ulodiapapa that was destroyed by early morning inferno last Wednesday. The permanent secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Oke-Osoyintolu, stated this while assessing the level of damage in the burnt market. Mr. Oke-Osoyintolu, who pledged government's commitment to ensuring that the traders have a befitting market to do their business, says government would compensate victims. Apart from goods worth millions of naira that were raised, the fire incident was said to have claimed one life.
Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, directed that we should work with the local governments to be able to do a sort of holistic enumerations of those people that were affected in such a way to ameliorate the impacts of this disaster on the affected people. Firstly, he directed that this place should be cleared in preparation for rebuilding and reconstructions of shops.
Mr. Governor came here, he has assured them, and likewise the chairman of the local government, Honorable Fatai Adekunle Ayola, he also came, he assured them, on Friday, he came around there with police, security officers, went to Trinity Market also, so that all the traders in Nigeria will work, will set the market in peace, so that there will not be any rancor, so that they'll go on with their normal business as expected.